Hello, everyone. Welcome to the season review of the Chicago Bears. This is a team that had kind of a disappointing season, all things considered. Some decently high expectations for this team, but just some injuries and the chemistry didn't really mesh. But also some things to be optimistic about heading into next season. So we're going to start here and look at the Madden roster and kind of compare my ratings to those of EA's. Starting here at the quarterbacks, not a ton of difference. In general, my quarterback ratings are lower, so keep that in mind. But, Jay Cutler probably going to be on his way out. There's a chance we see him back in Chicago, but with the contract and just how long he's been here, I think it's probably going to be time for this team to move on from Jay. So we'll see where he might end up. And then Brian Hoyer, I do like a lot, but probably not going to be your franchise guy. And then Matt Barkley, I like him as well, but another guy that I probably didn't see enough of to say he's going to be the starter going into next season. So probably the starting quarterback of the Bears next year, not currently on the roster. And it's going to be tough to say whether they address that through the draft or free agency. I don't think this upcoming draft is very deep at quarterback, so maybe leaning towards free agency there. This right here, Jordan Howard, the main bright spot of the Bears from this year. A great rookie year. I think he had over 1,300 rushing yards, which is pretty impressive considering their offense was far from explosive. But I like Howard. I don't love him. I think he's about as good as he's going to be already, which says a lot about his performance this year. He's a great power back, good vision, but I don't necessarily think he has the explosiveness to be an elite running back in this league. But, sometimes these players will shape their bodies and change their explosiveness, so not going to rule it out. And then moving on to the receivers here, Alshon Jeffrey is a free agent coming up. We haven't really seen a receiver of his magnitude hit the market, so he's going to demand a lot of money. If I had to bet on it, I would say he's going to stay in Chicago, either on a new contract or as a franchise tag, but it's about 50-50 whether or not he's going to leave. And then Cameron Meredith, another huge bright spot, just a young, good athlete, great hands, really showed route running, and kind of came out of nowhere. Definitely got production from someone they weren't expecting necessarily. I really like this receiving core a lot, to be honest. It's one of the more intriguing young cores in the league. I mean, you got guys like Marquez Wilson's only 23, I guess 24 next year. And then Kevin White hasn't even really seen the field. The exciting athlete, former number 6 overall pick. So even if Alshon did leave, there's reasons to be excited about this receiving core. And then the tight ends also not too bad. Zach Miller had a good year. And then Daniel Brown is an intriguing prospect who started making plays in the second half of the season as Zach Miller got hurt. And then the offensive line is pretty good, actually, especially on the inside. Josh Sitton, one of these players that his Madden rating I dropped. Still a very good player, but, Madden had him up in the high 80s, which is one of the top 5 guards in the game. I don't think he's there as a run blocker. And then Cody Whitehair, another rookie that had a great season. And then Kyle Long is a player I had to move up quite a bit. I know he's dealt with some injuries, which might have led to his rating going down, but he's one of the more athletic, guys that can pack a punch and move the line, and a great guy off the field as well. So Kyle Long goes up from an 81 to an 87. And then onto the defense. This front seven is arguably one of the best in the NFL when healthy, which sounds pretty crazy, but Akeem Hicks, one of the most underrated free agency signings of the year, had, I think, 7.5 sacks, was great in the run game, and he's only 26, which is surprising because it feels like he's kind of bounced around but definitely a piece for this defense, more than just a piece. They're going to need to find another D lineman to complete the set, but Eddie Goldman, just in his second year, was pretty dominant at nose tackle. And then these linebackers are tremendous. I mean, Pernell McPhee had a down year. Lamar Houston was injured, but those are maybe the third and fourth best pass rushers behind Willie Young and Leonard Floyd, who was yet another exciting rookie for this team. So this group of linebackers, and then you throw in the nice veterans here, Freeman and Trevathan. This is one of the better linebacking cores in the league. Definitely the deepest, in my opinion. So this front seven could really carry this defense next year. The secondary is going to need a little improvement, but I like Kyle Fuller. He wasn't fully healthy this season. Bryce Callahan and another young player that did well with the playing time he was offered. So maybe Porter, they'll move on from him or find another corner to replace him. But the secondary, when healthy, isn't terrible, especially behind that front seven. So wrapping this up here, I think this defense is going to be pretty good next year, especially with John Fox and the way he can rally team together. But to conclude kind of my rating or my grade for this team this season, not very good. I thought they would go well over their 7.5 win total, and they clearly didn't. They're going to have a top 5 draft pick again. So I give this team a D with a lot of optimism going forward due to the production they got from a lot of these rookies. So that's going to conclude the Bears, and we're going to move on and talk about the Bengals next. So peace out, guys.